go drop like rain, nigga, watch me hit those trees.
Psst, it's video time again, and I wasn't supposed to tell you this, but I like you, so I'm gonna spill the beans. The name of the series is Naruto, but the real center of the verse is one of my favorite people to talk about. So before we get started, do me a biggie, and sub, like, comment, and share the video. It's much appreciated and helps tremendously. But with that out of the way, let's get back to what is essentially the walking god of the Naruto series, Orochimaru. And you clicked on the thumbnail, so you saw it coming, but I really want to take a few minutes to drive home the fact that with all the what we'll call endings to everyone's story in Naruto, Orochimaru has the best possible standing in all categories by far, and is even still somewhat relevant in Boruto. So let us count the ways in which Orochimaru did a 110% run of life in the Narutoverse. Starting with the fact that from his introduction, every time he steps off of screen, he steps back on having gained a considerable amount of strength to the point where, by the time Shippuden ends, Orochimaru, who was introduced in the Forest of Death and only beat Hiruzen by the skin of his teeth, is destroying multiple Ten Tails beasts at a time. Like, why is anyone trying to convince us that Orochimaru's body isn't strong enough for a Sage Mode transformation, but is strong enough to hold out for years on will alone after having a portion of his soul ripped out and his arms falling damn near off? It just doesn't make sense. And even at the same time, it does make sense. Because you can't let Orochimaru have a transformation like that. That's too much. When we meet him, he already has an immortal consciousness, Edo Tensei, and the bodies of the first two Hokage. Then goes on to acquire all the abilities Kabuto mashed together, along with a Snake Sage mode that Kabuto called Dragon Sage, and we'll get to the physical body after this, but because he took a white Zetsu body, Orochimaru should have access to Wood Release, but he never uses it. Orochimaru has an unaging, probably immune to almost everything, strengthened by the God of Tree itself body, so no need for a Kimimaru, and Sasuke who? There's no better body Orochimaru could have gotten short of an Otsutsuki. Even Naruto's body is technically a downgrade since he's aging at a normal pace, and this is pretty much minuscule in comparison to everything else, but Orochimaru now has the best transformation jutsu in the verse thanks to the Zetsu's ability to be able to match chakra signatures to the point where even a Byakugan can't tell the difference. Not to mention that Orochimaru now has a way more chakra than he did before, and on top of that he can probably almost certainly use Sage Mode now because his original body was too weak, but the body he has now has basically been pulling in nature energy from the God Tree for the last 200 years or so. And even if he can't do the transformation, it doesn't matter because he's not the MC Hokage, or even on his own. He's back in the Leaf Village, so he doesn't have to deal with any threats that he doesn't want to. And why would he want to do that when it's way more fun goofing at the ramen shop or having a drink with your old pal Tsunade, the 5th Hokage, who you previously had a death match with and almost killed, which wouldn't have even been the highlight of your day at that point in the series. And I bet Jiraiya is steaming, bro. I did all this. When I die, you want to come back and mac on my girl? You sick son of a bitch. It's fisticuffs if you ever actually manage to die, because Orochimaru has died twice. 3 times if you want to count what Hiruzen did to him, and Orochimaru comes back stronger every time. And because he can just put curse marks on people, and yeah, only 1 in 10 will survive, but that still means I'm going to be around for a while. And since Orochimaru was forgiven for all the things he did, and there's no telling how many curse marks he gave out before the war, it's safe to say Orochimaru will probably outlive anyone even remembering he was a villain. But he's kind of already there because he's basically a 2-time war hero and knows all the people at the top of the ladder. Personally. Which, I will say, is almost a 1-to-1 representation of how some people just get away with horrendous things just because they have connections to people who we deem to be our leaders, and probably should have our best interests at heart, but that's neither here nor there. My point is that by any metric you can think of, Orochimaru is so close to the top of each and every one that your only assessment can be he won. He looks younger than Tsunade, he has more freedom than the Hokage, even under heavy surveillance. He still gets to do his own experiments. He has a kid, and from what I just explained, we know he has enough power to only have to answer to people like Naruto and Sasuke. And he has close to infinite life to learn every jutsu. And if I'm not mistaken, that was his biggest goal. And not only did he achieve it through outrageously evil means, He reset the game and got to keep his progress. He won. End of story. And as we close this out, I'd like to ask you all what some of your takes on Orochimaru are, because I gotta be honest, for me, it feels like he was the centerpiece of the world, to the point where, looking back, I feel like he should have been the real final villain. Because we spent so much time delving into his history and the things he was getting his hands into, only to kind of ignore all that. And nobody asked, but I actually like the less serious Orochimaru in Boruto just as much as I like the menacing Orochimaru in the original, even though they feel like completely different characters. I just feel like the transition was jarring and left unexplained, so it feels like something is off there. But that's the video, and before I do the whole outro thing, let me just say, I've come to a point where when I'm writing scripts for videos, I find myself able to consistently reference other videos I've made on different topics, and it's crazy that people watch those videos. And 700 subscribers isn't getting me a plaque, but I'm still blown away by it. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys and all the views, likes, comments, or whatever, and even just the feeling I get from putting out a video. So sincerely, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, peace.
That thunder on me clap, make a nigga think before he act. Have a nigga dying on his back, then we double back. Shooters leaving rubber where you at, that's why niggas never wanna match.